Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Voice of Diary. Today's story is very interesting and one of my favorite. This story will make you understand why you don't have to trust everyone, even she or he is your close ones. So without losing any time, let's start the story. Put on your earphones for better experience. You are listening the Voice of Diary. I'm 29M, work in commercial real estate, pretty methodical with money, contracts, and boundaries. I date seriously. I don't play house unless I see a future. That's probably why this hit the way it did. 3 months after my breakup, I got a letter. Not a text, not a call. A letter. Handwritten. I'm pregnant. It's yours. We need to co-parent like adults. That was it. No greeting. No softness. Just a demand disguised as maturity. We'd broken up because she said I was too structured and not spontaneous enough. Translation: I didn't like funding her finding herself phases. She'd quit 2 jobs in a year. I paid more than my share of rent. She called it temporary imbalance. I called a pattern. When we ended, it was clean, or so I thought. The letter arrived on a Tuesday. I read it twice. Then I checked the postmark. She'd mailed it 4 days before. I did the math immediately. We hadn't seen each other in over 11 weeks. Pregnancy dating isn't exact, but it's not vague either. I called her. She picked up on the first ring. "So you got it," she said. "No hello." "Yeah." "How far along are you?" "About 12 weeks." 12. I paused. "We broke up 11 weeks ago." Silence. "Pregnancy dating isn't exact," she said quickly. "Doctor's estimate." "Which doctor?" I asked. Another pause. "I haven't gone yet." That's when something shifted. Not panic. Not fear. Clarity. "Get a prenatal appointment. Send me documentation. I'll cover half of medical costs immediately. But I'm requesting a paternity test." Her tone changed instantly. "You don't trust me?" "I don't trust math that doesn't add up." "You think I'm sleeping around?" "I think we're not together, and this is serious." She started crying. Loud. Sharp. Accusing. "You're abandoning your child already." I didn't raise my voice. "No, I'm protecting myself and any child that might exist." She hung up. 2 days later, she posted on social media. A vague post about men who run from responsibility and women who have to be strong alone. Mutual friends started messaging me. "Is it true? Are you going to step up?" She hadn't tagged me, but she didn't need to. I stayed quiet publicly. I sent one text. "I will participate fully after legal confirmation." Nothing before that. That's when the entitlement started escalating. She emailed my mother. Not to inform. To recruit. "Your son is refusing to acknowledge his baby." My mother called me in tears. "You didn't tell me anything." "Because nothing is confirmed," I said. "Please don't engage." Then she showed up at my office. Security called up. "There's a woman here saying you're the father of her baby." That's when I realized this wasn't about co-parenting. It was leverage. I went down to the lobby. She was sitting there, dramatic but composed, holding an envelope. "You can't hide," she said softly. "I'm not hiding." She handed me a printed sonogram. No name, no clinic, no date. "You're really going to humiliate me like this?" she asked. I asked for documentation and a paternity test. "You'll get one after the baby is born." "No," I said. "There's a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. It can be done after 8 weeks. It's legal. I'll pay for it." She blinked. She didn't expect that. "They're expensive," she said. "I'll cover it." She didn't answer. She left. A week passed. Then a certified letter from an attorney arrived. She had retained counsel. The letter claimed I had verbally acknowledged paternity and was now withdrawing support. It demanded temporary financial assistance for prenatal expenses and living stability. I laughed once, not out of humor, out of disbelief. I hired my own attorney immediately. First thing he said, "Do not send her $1 without a court order or confirmed paternity. In the U.S., child support requires established paternity. Until that, there's no enforceable obligation." We responded formally. We requested immediate prenatal medical documentation, agreement to a non-invasive prenatal paternity test, No further defamatory statements. Her attorney replied, saying she was emotionally distressed and would not submit to testing during pregnancy. That was the moment I knew, because if she was certain, testing only strengthens her position. Instead, she filed a petition in family court to establish paternity and request future child support. Important detail: courts don't order child support before paternity is legally established, and prenatal expenses can sometimes be addressed later, but not blindly. The hearing was scheduled 6 weeks out. In those 6 weeks, she escalated. She sent screenshots of alleged pregnancy tracking apps to my brother. She told mutual friends I had begged her not to tell anyone. She implied I had pressured her to terminate. I hadn't spoken to her outside of logistics. Then something unexpected happened. A former co-worker of hers messaged me privately. "Hey, I don't want drama, but you should know she was seeing someone else before you broke up." My chest tightened. Before? I asked. Yeah, like overlapping. I asked for dates. The dates overlapped. I didn't celebrate. I didn't rage. I forwarded everything to my attorney. Court day came. She arrived visibly pregnant. I'll give her that. Her attorney argued I was stonewalling responsibility. My attorney stood up calmly and requested court-ordered genetic testing. The judge agreed immediately. The order was simple: DNA testing upon birth. No child support until paternity confirmed. She looked at me like I'd betrayed her publicly. Outside the courtroom, she said, "You could have just trusted me. You could have just told the truth." She didn't respond. 3 months later, I got a hospital notification through the court process. The baby was born. Testing was done before any birth certificate finalization. 2 weeks later, the results arrived. Probability of paternity, 0%. 0. Legally excluded. My attorney filed the result with the court. The petition was dismissed. That should have been the end. It wasn't, because now I had documentation of her false sworn statements. In her petition, she had declared under penalty of perjury that I was the only possible father. The overlapping timeline contradicted that. My attorney explained something important. Knowingly misrepresenting paternity in court can carry consequences. At minimum, it affects credibility in future custody and support proceedings. In some jurisdictions, it can lead to sanctions. We didn't pursue revenge blindly. We pursued accountability. We filed a motion for attorney's fees based on bad faith litigation. Courts can award fees when someone brings a claim without reasonable basis. The judge reviewed the DNA results and the sworn statements. She was ordered to reimburse a portion of my legal fees. Not all, but enough to sting. But I wasn't done. Remember the social media posts? The messages to my mother? The office scene? I never responded publicly before. I had waited for proof. I posted one thing: a photo of the redacted DNA result. No insults. No name. Just one line. Facts matter. The comments section was quiet. Then slowly, people started messaging me apologies. A week later, I received a call from her. "You ruined my life," she said. "No," I replied. "You tried to build it on a lie." Then came the final twist. Through court records, we learned the actual father had also requested testing. She had told him he wasn't the father. He was. She tried to assign paternity to the financially stable option. Me. Because I had structure, income, insurance. Co-parenting wasn't the goal. Security was. Entitlement is subtle when it starts. It sounds like, "We need to do this like adults." It escalates into, "You owe me," then into, "I'll force you." I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't send angry texts. I documented. I verified. I followed the law. Revenge wasn't explosive. It was procedural. Court orders. DNA. Fee recovery. Public truth. She faces consequences now beyond me. Her credibility in future proceedings is damaged. The actual father is pursuing his own legal action regarding custody and misrepresentation. As for me, I learned something expensive but permanent. Responsibility requires proof. Compassion requires boundaries. If this story taught you anything, let it be this: verify before you sacrifice. And if you want more real stories where paperwork beats manipulation, subscribe. Because sometimes the most satisfying revenge isn't loud, it's legally binding.